We have a question here from Thomas saying that we've mentioned before in passing that 20 pips or 20 points per day was okay for a haul on a day trade, and wanted to know, in our opinion, whether there is a certain amount of pips we hope to make per day, or are these types of expectations damaging? Thanks for the excellent question, Thomas. And this is probably one of those areas where it will come down to what type of trader you are, as opposed to having a hard rule that can be applied across the board for all traders. Now, there's nothing wrong with having targets as goals that you strive for. But for the most part, I have always found strict daily targets or daily pip or percentage targets as damaging, like you said in your question. And having a set goal in mind, that you want to make each day, can create some very bad trading habits, in my opinion. And for example, if you have a set goal of, let's say, you want to make 20 pips per day, or you want to make 0.5% per day, or whatever it may be. Now, firstly, it can limit you in your expectations for potential trades and cause you to cut your winners short once you've reached that target. Now, to some extent, that should be less of a concern if let's say you aimed for price to reach. So let's say we're selling, we're selling the S&P, and you have a target for the S1 pivot. Or let's say we bought this to the upside and you had a target for the R1. So if you reach that target and you take it off and you've reached your daily target, then that's obviously fine. But the danger with, having that daily percentage or pip target comes in when, let's say, you've moved halfway to your expected profit area. You're halfway there, let's say around about year, and suddenly you see that, okay, I've actually made my daily profit. That little voice is going to tell you, just take your profit. Yeah, why wait out for that bigger move? And that's a real threat. So you might not realize your full profit potential if you have that very strict target. Also, when you have set your profit target per day, when you have that set target of whatever it is, that you like to make, you are already assuming that you will hit that target in your subconscious without leaving room that you might have a losing trade or a losing day. If you have a target of, let's say, I want to make 0.5% per day or 20 pips per day or whatever it might be, then you could fall into the trap of forcing trades or taking revenge trades once things starts to go against you. So instead of taking that loss, which is normal, you end up taking 2 or 3 more losses because you can't accept that you didn't make that daily target. You're trying to make that daily target back that you've lost. So, you have that target of 0.5% per day. Now you lose 2 trades and you're down 1%. So subconsciously, psychologically, you want to try and take as many trades as you can now, because you've basically lost 2 days worth of targets. And that can be a really frustrating thing to deal with from a psychological point of view. And I know it sounds silly, but our emotions can play very strange tricks on us when we trade, or when we place ourselves in a position of risk, willfully place ourselves into a position of potentially losing money. So for me, a daily target might, be useful if you can assure yourself um, to have the target and stick to your trading plan. If you know that your emotions will not get in the way of you taking the entries where you should and taking them off where you should, if you can look at the market fresh each day and do that, then there's nothing wrong with taking or having a daily target. For me, there's another way of looking at a target, which is a lot more helpful, or has been a lot more helpful in my own trading. And that is having a daily target, but a daily risk target. So that means, instead of having a target for what you would want to make each day, you give yourself a very strict limit or target of what you are willing to risk each day. Whether that is 0.25% of your account, or 0.5%, or 1%, or 2%, or whatever you decide you are comfortable with, you have that as your risk target per day instead of having a profit target per day. That way, you're not forcing yourself to take a trade that you will regret, because you know that I've got these 2 or 4 bullets per day, depending on how you split your orders and how your risk, of course, allows you to trade. And once you've reached that predefined risk level in losses for the day, you just stop trading completely. So you say that you allow yourself to take 1/4 or 0.5% loss, and once you've reached that loss, you just stop. That way, you always limit yourself from doing silly things, by risking more and more. Once you've had a few losing trades, there's nothing worse than losing a trade and then trying to make back what you lost and ending up risking 2 and 3 and 4 times what you lost originally, because you're trying to make that loss back. In the long run, that's just going to force you to burn your account out eventually. So for me, I would much rather have a daily risk target as opposed to a daily profit target. And again, that's just for me. It might be different for different traders. For some traders out there, they don't have the same type of issues with their psychology like some of us do. They can take 5 or 6 or 7 straight losses and be as calm, in the midst of that, like nothing happened, and can continue trading like all is well and just execute their trading process perfectly. Now, that's definitely not me. I have a problem controlling those emotions. So having a limit in place, what I can always lean back on, saying that I've reached that limit, stop trading, get out of the game, get your head clean, start tomorrow fresh. I need those types of limits to help me control those psychological challenges. So I hope that helps, Thomas. Any other questions, please don't hesitate to let us know.